First thing to do today for the energy audit, we're going to come and speak to the homeowner, kind of just get some basic information from them about do they have drafty areas, hot and cold rooms, so we know what testing we need to do and things of that nature. A lot of times we'll collect their utility bills, take overall value measurements of the home, including window measurements. Then we'll come do a walk around the outside, just look for any areas that might be water and air infiltrating, get the efficiency of the AC units, efficiency of the hot water heater, potentially the furnace, make sure that it has good stack pressure, make sure that it's not spilling under the hood or anything, that the gases aren't spilling when it turns on. Inspect the attic, look for the insulation levels, look to see if there's open chases, as general areas where there might be air penetrating into the conditioned space. With the infrared camera, we can a lot of times actually be able to tell whether or not there's insulation in that wall, based on if the studs are showing up, say in the summertime, if they're showing up as maybe much hotter. We know that there's no thermal barrier in those cavities, but the wood, even though it's a poor insulator, is giving you some value. So it's one way we can kind of be able to see what the insulation level is without actually cutting into drywall. And the last thing we're going to really be doing is actually hooking up the blower door, pushing air out of the home, which is going to do two things for us. One, it's going to emphasize the air leakage, which makes it a lot easier for us not only to feel, but with our infrared camera it makes it a lot easier to see. And it really helps to emphasize any of the air leakage, if it's coming around a window, if it's coming from underneath baseboard or anything like that. It really be able to see the air streaming in, so we know which areas to pinpoint. But the main thing is it's going to tell us what the actual cubic feet per inch of air that is leaking out of the home. Now when we compare what it actually is leaking to what the standard should be for a home of that size, we could actually be able to determine if the house is really tight, maybe needing mechanical ventilation, or if it's very leaky, in which case we'd be looking at doing some air sealing, some insulation, things like that, to lower that number to get as close to that optimal number as we can. And I work with the homeowner to determine a good kind of scope of work for them if they decide to move forward. We'll come in, typically take one day, and be able to do spray foaming, do installation, whatever they decide to do, test out when it's done, and with the new blower door we can get a new reading and make sure, kind of actually be able to quantitatively see, your house is now this much more airtight. We'll plug all the information back into our software and actually can show them a test out, you're spending this much on heating your home, this much on cooling your home, this much on your base load, just your normal light switches, things of that nature. You chose to do these items, and here's kind of what your savings will be. Here's what your out-of-pocket cost is. Here's your potential payback in years. It really helps people to kind of, be able to visually see, wow, this work I did actually made a difference. And sometimes it's not even just the bills or the electric or anything like that. A lot of times just the comfort levels. People really, oh, my upstairs is extremely hot in the summertime, I can't stand it. Do the work afterwards, and a lot of it's the first time I can actually be comfortable in the room. And that's, those are really kind of the two main motivating factors for people. That either my bills are so high I can't afford it, or I don't care what my bills are, I just want to be comfortable in my own home.